Well, hello there everyone and welcome in to a new FIFA 18 Manager Career Mode in which I will be taking a team from the EFL Championship, building them up to promotion in the Premier League, and ultimately the goal is to compete on the grandest of European stages in the Champions Cup. Now, today I am starting a new series in which I will be bringing you gameplay, transfers, all sorts of the components that make a FIFA 18 career mode so exciting. I'll be taking input from the fans of the club I choose who just have some players they love so much they do not want me to sell, some players they want me to bring in, and let's go ahead and pick that club right now. I have a club in mind I'm going to go with from the Championship, a team that was in the Premier League a few years ago, was relegated, and I'm hoping to bring them back up, and that team I'm going with is Hull City. Now, Hull City seems to have a pretty good transfer budget, which I think is going to be good to work with, given the league and the other transfer budgets I see, which actually seems to be quite average, or maybe even on the high end of the teams in this division. And they have some very low expectations that I should be able to reach right away. I expect to apparently blow the board out of the water with the domestic success I plan to have. Continental success, we would not even be competing in the first year. But I'm going to grow a good youth squad that I think will get them quite excited and eventually contribute to my long-term success with this career mode. Now let's go forward and check out the next step of the process. Give him a nice suit, although it doesn't look fitted. Looks like it's an off-the-rack suit. Okay, let's move forward. I will be playing the games on Legendary. I do plan to adjust the sliders if it gets too easy, as career mode seems to do as time goes on. Okay, here's an overview of the settings I'll be using. Like I said, Legendary, 6 minutes with Euro currency being used. We have a real stadium, which is a big factor in choosing Hull City, bringing them back to the Premier League with the K-Com Stadium. European competition's all set. Let's go ahead and advance to the next stage. So we have some invites to a preseason tournament. Let's take a look at these. I think we're going to end up going with the biggest potential prize money tournament here with the European International Cup. Competition seems okay. It looks like Genk, Standard Liège, Club Bruges, Toulouse. It looks like we're going to go ahead and choose this one. And let's jump right into this. Check out the squad hub. I'm not too much of a Hull City fan. So realistically, I think anyone's up for sale now who is over the age of 26 and has a value of around, I'm guessing, 4 million euros, really. Pretty much anyone can go, unless anyone in the comments can let me know of some players I should absolutely not sell. Which I'm totally okay with taking your advice on, and maintaining the integrity of Hull City Football Club going forward. So I can have some of these guys who maybe played in the Premier League last time they were there remain on the team and get them back up. But some players, as I look through this list, I'm definitely going to want to put on the transfer, just put on the market. Ryan Mason, I'm probably going to hold on to. He has the highest value I've seen so far, but Kamil Grosicki from Poland, a winger, 75 overall. I think I could probably get a good return from him. I'm thinking maybe around 8 million euros, so we're going to add him to the transfer list. A couple other players. I might keep Adama Diomande at least until January and see if I can just maintain a pretty strong attack. Fraser Campbell, I'm probably gonna, if I could, put on the market, but it seems like I'll hold on to him. Abel Hernandez, I'm gonna hold on to. He has the highest value on the team, but from what I've seen, a pretty good player. So I want to at least maintain some sort of strong attack, like I've said, and maybe use some money I get from other transfers to bolster my midfield and definitely my defense, and eventually down the road pick up a better keeper. But I think that realistically I'm listening on all these guys. Marcus Henriksen, he's 24 years old, but I don't really see him being a key component of the team going forward, so we're going to add him to the list as well. Evandro as well. He's 30 years old. I'm not going to get much off of him as time goes on. So we're putting him on the list also. Looks like the rest of them are, young enough to where I might see some growth and potential. This Czech looks like Andrej Mazuch has a very low value. I might not get much for him, but well, it looks like he's staying anyway. Moses Adubajo, it looks like, might be a key cog in our defense, although we have, seems like, two high potential possibly right backs in Ola Aina along with Abudajo. I'm gonna probably see if I can move Ola Aina to left back. It looks like he has the ability to play there as well, and my left backs look okay at best, I would say. Stephen Kingsley looks like he's holding down the starting job right now for that position. My keepers seem quite weak. I only have 2 keepers, both over the age of 30, so I would say, and also both Scottish. I'm going to say that keeper is a priority for me to acquire before the season starts even. Especially with some simulated games I'll be having to do with the long championship season. I do plan on playing most of the big games, however, in the simulated matches, I'm going to need a good keeper to at least come out with a draw. So let's go ahead and look at the squad here. It looks like they're playing a 4-4-1-1 with the center forward being Irvine, 71 rated, and Dicko as my striker. However, I'm probably going to change this around and put Dicko as the center forward and move Abel Hernandez up as my front man striker here. My center mid looks serviceable. That's going to be another position I'm targeting. It looks like we're going to make a change at right back and put Adebujo in. And Aina is already in the left back position. My center backs, we have Hector and Captain Dawson from England. He's 33 years old. So we'll see how long of a life he lives at this club. But it looks like this team might need work all around. We're putting Diomande up on the substitutes. Switch out Campbell, I suppose. We're going to see if we can build up some of these young players moving forward. I'm also going to put Ryan Mason into the starting lineup for Myler at this point, at least for the preseason games, to see if I can get some growth, and also train these guys to see if they can start developing now, so we can have a better season than expected in the championship, and see if these guys can grow into serviceable Premier League players next season. So let's go ahead and look at our short list of the guys we hope to bring in, either in this transfer window or moving forward. We don't have a huge budget, so we have to really be smart with our signings. I have a couple guys that I know I can get for cheap that will turn into future stars. For one, Angel Gomez, Ryan Sessegnon, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong, Jan Fiete Arp. Andre Onana is the guy I plan to eventually acquire as my keeper. I'm going to have a scouting report due on him in, I guess, a little bit, maybe a week or two. Trent Alexander-Arnold, even though I seem set at the fullback position, I do want to get a guy in here that I know can grow into a high potential player. And eventually, obviously, 2 players I will be able to afford at this point, but going forward I hope to have on the squad are Malang Sarr. a very strong center back who can play some left back as well. And the chosen one from Denmark, Kasper Dolberg, who it turns out to be an absolute beast in this career mode. So there are a few guys in here I won't be able to transfer for right now, including Ryan Sessegnon, Arp, and I believe Marcus Edwards is also out on loan, so these guys will have to wait. Let's jump in here and see if we can acquire Angel Gomez as the first signing for the club. And here we are meeting with Jose Mourinho right off the bat, rubbing shoulders with the big guns of England. Let's get right to it. Let's offer about, I'm going to say 1.5 million euros. See how that goes. And it looks like Jose Mourinho's all for that, so we're going to jump right into player negotiations. After a quite painless first transfer approach made for Angel Gomez, let's see if we can secure him as the first club signing. And I think it will make him a rotation player or important. I'm going to go with rotation and see if he'll go for that, but I expect him, he's going to be happy with that, which is great. Looking only for 2 years, I'm going to counter that, and I don't expect he'll accept this, but let's see if, okay, he'll definitely settle for 3 then, I do believe. So we have Angel Gomez for 3 years if we can agree on wages. He does not want a release clause, neither do I. And wages seem quite reasonable. I'm going to go ahead and sign him to that deal and just make it painless. So welcome Angel Gomez as our first club signing. And already we're looking better in the attack. So now we have 11.7 million euros left, and we're gonna see if we can get any more with some guys we added to the transfer list. So let's go ahead and simulate forward to our first preseason match against Club Brugge. So Birmingham has approached me for a loan for Max Clark, a left back who can also play some center defensive mid. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and accept this offer from them. And I'm going to look to see if I can also acquire a new fullback in the name of Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. So let's jump in to negotiations here with Jurgen Klopp. I do believe I can get Alexander-Arnold for relatively cheap this early on in his career, being only 18 years old. I'm going to offer them, let's go with 1.75 million euros. That should be able to get the job done, I believe. And no, apparently Jurgen Klopp is so mad he wants to storm out of the room. So apparently that was quite a bad offer for Alexander-Arnold. I'm not exactly sure what they would want for him. Maybe if I double that and look at about 3.5 million euros, which seems quite fair, I do believe, for a guy with his high of a potential. The rest of the guys on this list I'm going to wait on. I would like to acquire Tom Davies, but I do think he'll require a... Well, let's go ahead and see what I can do for him. I'm expecting around 10 million euros to be the requested amount for Tom Davies. Let's see if we can get him around 8.5. I'll be happy with that. Hopefully we can see if Everton will be happy with that as well. They want 9.2 with a sell-on clause of 4%. I'm okay with the sell-on clause. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to try just at 9 million euros, and we should have a deal there. Great, Sam Allardyce is happy with that, so let's go ahead and jump into negotiations with what could be our second club signing and possibly our new starting center mid in Tom Davies. He wants a crucial role. I'll give him that. I do expect him to play a big part of this team going forward. I want him for 5 years. Let's see if he's okay with that. Apparently, I'm going to have to settle for 4. He's happy with it. No release clause. Sounds good to me. His wages seem to be more than my budget, so I might have to pull out, which is quite sad. I was hoping to get this deal done now, but even if I remove the bonus, this isn't going to work apparently. I'm going to see if there's anything I can do here, but you know, I don't even want to embarrass him in these negotiations, so sadly we're going to end negotiations and come back for Tom Davies when we have a little bit more money to spend. Hopefully we can create some with some transfers. So let's go ahead and sim this first match against Club Brugge after we make some adjustments to the lineup. Let's add Gomez into the substitutes. Hopefully he might get some playing time off the bench. Okay, so we are ready for our first game, our first simulated match here in the preseason European International Cup against Club Brugge. Let's go ahead and get this one started. My lineup probably will be something I roll with or similar to, oh look at this, right off the bat, 2 goals in the 7th minute of the game, back to back. But yeah, the lineup looks like something I might roll with going forward into the championship season that will be starting soon. Adubajo puts one in the 66th minute, and it looks like Hull City are going to win their first match of the International Cup in the preseason tournament. We have an email, and it looks like Michael Dawson is out for 5 weeks, which could be quite bad for us, considering he is our team captain and starting center back. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to have to do with this now. I was in the market for a new center back anyway, but this really changes things, and it looks like I'm going to have to totally change my plans with the Tom Davies acquisition and look to bring in a center back right away with the injury to Dawson. It looks like we don't even have a serviceable replacement on the squad as it is. So immediately I'm looking for a new center back. I'm going to have to insert Mazuch in there for now, although he's quite tired going into the next match. And let's look at who we can maybe bring in to replace him. So since my team is quite weak in center back depth, I'm going to have to bring one in right away. And I have 2 guys here on my short list that I'm looking at, both under the age of 20, Axel Tuanzebe from Man U, and Dan Axel Zagadou from Borussia Dortmund, who has a release clause that I can't afford. I'm going to go ahead and pay that straight away, and then jump into negotiations with Manchester United over Tuanzebe. I got a pretty good deal for Gomez, so maybe Mourinho will be quite as generous with the transfer here of Axel Tuanzebe. Let's go ahead and offer a fee of around, I'm guessing, 4.5 million euros. Actually, let's change that to 5. I feel more safe with that offer. They're going to go with 5.8 with a selling clause of 10%. Let's see, I don't know about that selling clause. It seems quite high to me. I'd rather remove that and pay around 6. Let's go with 6.1. I do think that it might be able to get the job done. 6.5. Let's play hardball here and bring that down to 6.25, let's say. I think me and Mourinho have built a pretty good relationship with each other so far that this will get the job done. And yeah, Mourinho is a good lad. He's gonna give me that deal. So 2 center backs I might be bringing in here to replace Dawson. Both Axel. So let's see which one we can get first. Let's go ahead and see if we can pick up Tuanzebe first. So let's meet with him and his agent right now and try to settle on wages. He wants an important role. I think that is quite reasonable given his competition in the squad. I would hope to give him for 5 years. I don't think he'll want that. No, it looks like he wants out much earlier than that. So let's see if we can get him for 3 years. No release clause. He wants a pretty high wage. I don't know about that. I'm thinking more around 55,000 per week. He's sticking to it, 57. Let's just take that deal and move on and jump into negotiations with the second axle. But, however, I don't have the financial means to pull this off, apparently. So, let's wait. So, the second game of the European International Cup against Genk coming up here. And let's see if we can continue our winning ways after the first game win over Club Brugge. We are facing a second Belgian squad here, and Grosicki comes up with a goal, followed by another goal in quick succession by Abel Hernandez to take a 2-0 lead early on against Genk, and it looks like we will maintain that lead going forward and come away with win number 2. And another goal at the end there by Grosicki, who is trying to play his way into the squad, to remain in the squad. He knows he's on the transfer list, but maybe he might be just adding to his value here. We have a transfer offer for Abel Hernandez, 6.5 million euros. I'm going to go ahead and reject that. I do plan on keeping Hernandez with the squad at least this season. So for our third match of the European International Cup, we will be facing Akhmat. A couple changes to the squad here today. Torral comes in at center mid. Diomande will be starting at center forward today. And Aina and Adubajo making up the fullbacks, just as in the first match. So picking up here in the second half of the match as Adubajo has scored again, and we are up 2-0 following another goal from Terrell, who is happy to get some playing time here, and we have wrapped up another win here in the European International Cup, going undefeated in the group stage and moving on to the semifinals against Standard Liège. Now, we have John Terrell, just so happy he got some playing time, and I'm happy he got that goal. We have some scouting reports on Malang Sarr and Andre Onana, who have high values, too high for me to approach and get a deal done this transfer window. However, Andre Onana is a major target for my squad going forward, and Dan Axel, all you do is had it. He's impatient. He does not want to negotiate with me after I have taken a couple days to get back with him about a contract offer. I'm sorry, Dan Axel, I just didn't have the finances for it. However, I do have them now, I do believe, so let's see what we can do with it. We do only have 2.7 million euros right now, so that is not going to be enough to get anything done. However, with a win against Standard Liège, we could actually boost our transfer budget and maybe add to it and keep it in the bank, or invest it in Dan Axel Zagadou to bolster our center backs. So the semifinals here of the European International Cup, Hull City versus Standard Liège. The squad remains the same as last match. Got the job done there, so let's see if we can use the same squad to get us into the finals of this preseason tournament. This seems to be a club that is on our level at least, and Ryan Mason comes away with a goal early on in the first half, and Standard Liège quickly ties it back up. a 1-1 game heading into the second half, and Abel Hernandez puts us ahead 2-1 late on in the match, and it looks like Hull City will be going on to the finals of the European International Cup, which is so exciting. We not only boost our transfer budget, but start to build on some club credibility and receive a transfer offer for David Myler. QPR has shown some interest in purchasing him. Let's see if we can. Well, that actually seems like it's a pretty good deal, actually. I am going to negotiate that just because I'm going to try to squeeze every penny out of him that I can. So let's jump into negotiations here with the representative of QPR. I would hope to get around 1.9 for him, just an extra 500,000 euros, and that seems like a good deal to them. So we have sold David Myler, who was looking from the outside in at this squad anyway, at age 28. So we did get his value back for him, and we have acquired some more money for our transfer budget, 1.6 million euros to be exact. So that should bring our budget around 4.3 million euros, which should be enough for Don Axel Zagadou. However, I'm going to hold on to that for now and see what we get from winning this tournament if we do go on to win the tournament. So that'll just about do it here for episode 1 of the Hull City Career Mode on FIFA 18. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel and my video. I have more coming for you in episode 2, which will include gameplay from the International Cup Championship against Toulouse. I'll have that video guys up for you ASAP. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'll have the name down below. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you back for episode 2.